Come on now. You already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legendary Knight, and we got the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. I ain't never got tongue twisted from saying that one.
Yeah.
Look, man, look, I know what y'all been thinking. I know what y'all been wondering. What the hell is going on with nighttime? Look, we are here. We're live. And by the way, Zach, as always,
Already in it.
giving us the national day. And you know what it is? National Caramel Apple Day. I ain't got it, but
Zach,
I'm
forgive
gonna
me.
try to get one tomorrow if I can.
One, Zach, we absolutely love you. We appreciate the fact that you're in here every single time to start the show off with the national holiday. And one of these days we're gonna get it right. But for now, I hope this will have to do. I don't have caramel apple, but I do have a Werther's Original apple. So I got a little bit of the caramel and I got a little bit of the apple. That's gonna have to do. We're gonna celebrate with that today.
Hey, I feel that one. I feel that one. Look, man, look, as always, welcome again to another episode of Nighttime. And you know what happens when we talk about nighttime. You know we got to talk about one of the greatest shows that happens on the week. And I'd be capping if I said it wasn't one of the greatest shows that has happened this week. So let's go ahead and kick it off talking about that AEW Dynamite, baby. Man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Look, I'd be capping. I'd be capping if I sat here and said that Dynamite wasn't on fire this week. Okay. Start to finish. By the way, that even being said, somebody's aura went up by at least 10. Okay. And you know, if I'm talking about aura, it's the man that we've been saying has zero aura, and that's that man, Wheeler Yuta. Okay, look. First of all, the way that Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia popped out in their entrance, I said, yo, Wheeler, low key. I got a little bit of a chill. Okay, a little bit of a chill off of this man. Okay. But I said, Wheeler, you're killing it with this. Him and Daniel Garcia coming out, you know, they was walking out. I said, damn, Daniel. I mean, I get it. You ain't out here doing all this. But I like how they came about with this. Okay, they started it off, first of all. Okay, let's talk about this before anything. They started this match off, okay, with a trick-or-treat tornado match. Okay, and this match was insane. I love what they did. First of all, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, okay, going up against Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. By the way, one of my favorite spots that they did, okay, you had a hurricanrana DDT from Orange Cassidy hitting Wheeler Yuta. And then right after that, Darby Allin following up with a coffin drop? Insane. But to the point where, you know, it seems like now my man Darby Allin is a submission magician out here making everybody tap out. And Wheeler having to tap out himself. I said, damn, Wheeler. As soon as I gave you a little bit of aura, you took that away that fast. But it's all good. It's all good. Because, you know, honestly, right after that, that man Hook came around. Hook came out. Okay, Hook is out here walking, talking about what he's going to be doing at that Fatal Four-way. And he said the main person, first of all, before he even said that, okay, he talked about, you know, the actual real former champions that he was facing. And he talked about Bobby Lashley. You know, he talked about Ricochet. Then he said even when it came to Samoa Joe, he ain't give a damn about that. He wanted everybody to acknowledge that. But he said the main person he was looking at was Samoa Joe. And he said he was also glad that the world finally sees the real Samoa Joe that he's been seeing. I said, damn. Okay, Hook. You know, he ain't been much of a talker, but lately, since his return, hey, man, look, he's been actually getting a lot better. And I'm proud of that man, Hook, for real. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But we got to talk about this next segment. This one's important. Okay, this one's truly important. Okay, in a lot of ways, because this was insane. Okay, and this is what we're about to talk about here. Don Callis, okay, talking about everything that was going on with him and the family. This man is already talking about what he's going to be doing. But before he even breaks that down, he looked over and he's seen the Bucks. calls the Bucks over. He says, come on, Bucks, why don't y'all come on through? Come on through. Okay, he said, look, and I said to myself, damn, Don, you might be on to something with this. He wouldn't say it's a shame what this company is doing to you. It's a shame how the people are looking at you. You're still getting looked at like some jobbers. You're still getting looked at like you're nothing. You're the founding fathers, for Christ's sake. I said, damn, Don, okay. But then on top of that, he says, look, I know y'all kind of trying to do your own thing. But he gave the open invitation for the Young Bucks to join the Don Callis family. And then on top of that, he said he even put some money down for the pyro, for their entrance to be spectacular, which, by the way, okay, it really was. Okay. So the Bucks go out. Okay, they go out. Don Callis is literally, giving these men, damn, the intro, the announcement, how he talked, how he, introduced them, and then the entrance. To the point where even the Young Bucks damn near, I think it was, Nick almost got his damn head blasted off by one of the fireworks. It was that damn close to his face. Okay, but on top of that, okay, the match that we were leading up to on top of this was the Fatal Four-way Fright Night #1 contenders tag team match. Okay, and we had Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR. They had Jet Speed. Okay, we had the Bucks, and there was the Jurassic Express. But, okay, FTR getting the dub over. Honestly, first of all, you had my man Big Stokes on the announcements, on commentary. And I said to myself, man, you already going crazy with this. I said, first of all, you talking about something serious. But what I love the most about it, though, of course, I'll be capping if I didn't say the Bucks, okay? Look, the Bucks went absolutely bananas. Okay, the Bucks went crazy. And that even being said, the spots that was being done, everything that these men were doing, spot on, spectacular. What I love how they did also, Bucks going crazy, Jurassic Express is going crazy. Okay, Jet Speed going crazy. First of all, Kevin Knight, long lost cousin. I've been saying this about Kev. Kev, you killing it, bro. For real. For real. And I didn't even know. I kept thinking, him and Willow had something going on. But my man is with Marsha Sade, formerly known as Jakara Jackson. I said, man, go ahead, boy. If you ain't get one win, you got another. I'm proud of you. But even that, what I loved about it, though, after you seen Kevin Knight hit that frog splash, you know how you be doing that. First of all, to do that mid-air and turn, insane. Okay, insane. I ain't just saying that because his last name is Knight, all right? But I love what he did. Then right after that, Bucks try to capitalize. Oh, that means nothing because then right after that, FTR came and capitalized, hit their finisher, and got the dub. And then, of course, Big Stokes happy as hell. But I wonder now, will this be something for FTR? Will we possibly see maybe new tag team titles? Well, not even new tag team titles, should I say more of new tag team champions coming from FTR. And honestly, I'm like, yo, if FTR does become champs, not mad about it. But I love what Bro Dito is doing. We're talking about Brody Lee. We're talking about Bandito. These guys have been killing on the tag team division. And I love what they're doing. But honestly, for these guys to be two people that's been paired up, they're killing it right now. I love what they're doing. But again, we'll see what happens for that, especially what's going on for Full Gear. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
I thought this was a phenomenal way to start the show. Particularly, seeing, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Wheeler Yuta, like they absolutely killed it. Just set the tone for what the show was going to be. Then to follow that up with Don Callis and the Bucks in the backstage segment there, where Don Callis is still trying to extend an olive branch to the Bucks and get them to come over to the dark side, to the Don Callis family. Just phenomenal. To the point that he hyped them up in that intro so well, I should say, that I just felt like because of that, they had to be going over in that daggone match. Fatal Four-way. But the Bucks delivered. I thought that the pace of what was going on and at one point in that match with the Bucks super kicking like each person from each team to the shatter machine that they put on Dax Harwood and what's my boy? What's his partner Dax and
Cash Wheeler.
Cash Wheeler. Thank you. Like the shatter machine that they put on them, and then the way they super kicked, Jurassic Express. Like it was so. There was a spot in there where it was just pure like chaos, high speed, and just everything was connecting. And I love when stuff like that starts to happen in these matches. I think it's phenomenal to see like how these wrestlers can keep up with everything like that that's going on. And it was just exciting. I thought the Bucks would have it at that point in time, but FTR was able to pull it out, and it was just a great and exciting match for them. So yeah, I mean it was dope. The beginning to Dynamite was just phenomenal, and I was just happy to see that the Bucks had their power back. I do believe that we are seeing the beginnings of them to get ready to go down this path where they're getting ready to join Don Callis. I think it's going to happen because they keep talking about how, I've been trying to get you guys to join the Don Callis family for a while, and you've never done it. You've always turned it down. At this point in time, they lost a $400,000 match that they just recently had. They hurting. They down on their luck. This is the perfect time for Don Callis to come in.
That boy's down to $32.
Man. So I am interested to see like what get ready to like turn up from this Bucks and Don Callis thing, especially with the other turmoil that's already going on within the Don Callis family, which I'm sure we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah, man. Look, we got to talk about. Honestly, I ain't even gonna lie. There was a lot circling around the Don Callis family the other night, and I thought to myself, I said, "Damn, well, so what's so important as to what's going on?" And we got to talk about this because I thought this was extremely good, and I wonder, you got paying attention to what these men are saying here, okay? The Don Callis family, they literally, I mean, they're having a whole, I mean, you want to call it a summit, you want to call it a gathering, a powwow, whatever. I mean, these men were sitting here talking again. First of all, before that, they even said Takeshita could not make it because of traveling issues. I said, okay. Well, I said, maybe that is believable. But I mean, everybody damn near at the table talked about how good the Don Callis family was. I mean, to the point where they presented a whole portrait, which I thought was insane. It seems like Don Callis has a love for art, and this is something that I've noticed because the last time they done gave Don Callis a painting, it was him and Kyle Fletcher. But now this is you and the whole damn family. But even to the point where Kyle Fletcher now, after this point, is sitting here talking about some, he comes out, he brings out this oath. He said, this is an oath that all of us have talked about. And I said, what oath are you talking? He said, this is something that we solemnly swear that this is something that we will always put the Don Callis family first before ourselves, bodies, and all. I said, this is what this man's got y'all signing? Pretty much just sign your soul away at that point. So, I mean, but I love what they did. But then a little bit after that, interesting enough, who comes out? That man, Takeshita. Takeshita is out here, man. And look, what I loved about this, first of all, Takeshita's coming out. You already know people are looking like, hold up now. What are we talking about here? What are we doing here? What are we saying here? And I said to myself, yeah, what are we doing? What is going on? Takeshita coming out of nowhere. And now, at this point, when he's walking up, immediately the first person he's looking at to whoop ass with, okay, was freaking, was Okada. I said to myself, okay, I get it. You got to, you have your problem with Okada. We get this now. So what I loved about it, even after that, Don Callis tries to tell Takeshita, why don't you and Okada shake hands? First thing he says, and now I know when we first started the family, I named you the Alpha. But now at this point, we are a family. And he said, now, you're the first one in, and I'll make sure, if anything, you'll be the last one out. Now, when he said that to me, I thought to myself, now, if he would have said the first one in, first one out, all right. First one in, last one out? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Don? What do you truly mean by that? Because you sitting here saying this. What are you promising to Keshta? What are you promising Okada? What are you promising Kyle Fletcher? This is the things I was thinking about as this man was talking. And I said, I don't know, Don. It seems like you might have something up your sleeve. But I do think Takeshi's about to be out of here, and we're going to see why. Because then after this, trying to shake Okada's hand. Okada being starts to shake his hand. And then you know how he is, man. Just, he'll flick anybody off, and we'll start laughing. And you know, the one thing about Takeshita, man, that immediately pissed him off. He said, okay, oh, you want to keep playing? All right, come on. Nah. You want to put your middle finger in my face? I like what he did with that. I like how they did. Don Callis in there trying to break him up. Now at this point, Don has said, you know what? I want you guys to work together. Then he also says, well, what's going to happen is we are going to sit here and we're going to put you two up to the test. And this man set up a match for them at Collision, going up against, I ain't going to, we know them. I would still call them the Acclaimed. You might as well still call them the Acclaimed. But I love what they did with this. And I thought this was great. I thought this was amazing. Like, I like how you're trying to force the tag, this tag team. Now, this is good stuff. You're forcing a tag team together that you know they hate each other. 9 times out of 10, they probably not going to get along. But what if they do win a few matches? What if they lose? I like this. I love everything about this. I can't tell what's going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can make some predictions. Might be right, might be wrong, but this ain't exclusive takes right now to give you that. But I love this. I love the tension that's going on with the Don Callis family. They still look strong, but then you still got some tension and problems going on. A lot of story to tell. A lot of things can change. A lot of things can happen. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
I think it's criminal, man, what Okada did to Takeshita and just the disrespect that was there. I mean, Don Callis, he poured his heart and soul into trying to, bring this family together to remind everyone, what it's like to be a familia. And Okada, after sitting there, listening to all of that, hearing all of that, decides that he's just going to one-up, Takeshita and stick his middle finger out after Takeshita already did not want to shake his hand. The crowd is saying, no, don't do it. No. But Takeshita tries after Don Callis gives his whole speech to be the bigger person in this and shake his hand. And this is the payment that Okada gives to Takeshita, which is just insane. It's diabolical. And, but it is what it is. This is what you can expect from the Rainmaker himself, because he can't be the bigger person in this. And it's sad, but I see what Don Callis is trying to do. I know that this is definitely going to backfire. It's not going to work. Takeshita and Okada, they just can't see eye to eye right now. This is going to fall apart, and I'm still here for it because I see these two going at it and battle like like we're winning. That's all I can say about it is we're winning, and I'm just looking forward to it. But this painting for Don Callis was just
why is he always giving himself like awesome. A chiseled body every time?
Every single one of them has a chiseled body, and this man's loincloth is hugging around the entire family, like just embracing the entire family. And even he is chiseled. Like, come on, Don. Come on, Don.
I thought you did this a little past your prime. Like, come on.
Yeah, Don.
Don.
Yeah, Don is he's diabolical, man. And but it's what makes it great. It's what makes it fun. And like I said, you can add the Bucks to something like this. Oh man, you really cooking with Breeze Den, boy. But man. That was a good little segment there. And Okada, man, he's just shame. That's all I can say.
Shame.
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 Nah, but yeah, they're killing it with this. I really I like this dynamic that they got going on with this, man. It's layers to it because we know like Teesha and Okada have faced each other before in the past, way before the AEW days. So for them to kind of take that story from that and make that into from this, I love it, man. Like honestly, but I agree. I think if you add the Young Bucks in the Don Callis family, because technically thinking about it, right? They got a bunch of singles guys. They got a lot of guys that predominantly are mainly singles guys, right? And then, that you got your Josh Alexander. You can pair him up, put him up with a few other people. But okay, you ain't got to do that. But if you got a real tag team, the best tag team, I mean, honestly, that is a great addition for not only the Young Bucks, but for Don Callis. So, yeah, I think that'll be good. The story dynamic, I think, is really there. But then a part of me does feel like, because it does seem like they're moving this whole thing with the Don Callis thing. But then I think about Dynamite last week. Was it I believe it was last week when they faced Jurassic Express. And, Kenny Omega was looking at him. And I thought to myself, what if this might be a hint for the Bucks to go face? Now, I'm not, again, Bucks could be heel face. I don't give a damn. That don't change how I feel about him. But I wonder in terms of story, will that be the direction they'll go in? I mean, there's some possibilities. We could be seeing the Young Bucks going face, but at the same time, there's a strong possibility we can be seeing the Bucks go with the Don Callis family. We know them boys need that bread. They need that money, that monyan. And if they don't got that, they hit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to keep seeing Slick Nick. I don't want to keep seeing Mr. Instant Replay. I want to see the EVPs, damn it. Nick and Matt Jackson. Those guys. I mean, they're still finding their way. But again, this is the jobber's journey for the Bucks. We know how this goes. But we got to talk about this next segment, man. Because, I mean, honestly, again, when it comes to Dynamite, smile across my face the whole night. Long Island's own Chris Statlander calling out Mercedes Moné, the CEO. All right, she's telling, first of all, by the way, shout out to Chris Statlander. I always say it because she's from Long Island. But I love how the fact she's got the Goku Black fit on. Y'all know from Dragon Ball Super. I say, yo, Chris, this just brought your aura points up to about 10,000. So I love what she did. I love what she did. Calling out Mercedes Moné, telling her, hey, I'm right here. I know you're here. I said, all right, Chris, we'll see what happens. I ain't gonna lie. Some people, you call out Mercedes Moné from backstage. Oh, she'll bring your ass from backstage and bring you out. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But then on the next segment here, I love this match right here. Kyle O'Reilly going up against Jon Moxley. Now, this was another great match. Now, the crazy thing is, Kyle O'Reilly literally got Jon Moxley in a submission hold here. Okay? To the point where Ref Audrey, okay, literally did a double count out. I said, well, damn. Okay, that's fine. But the crazy thing is after that, Marina is out here putting her hands on Ref Audrey. Okay, first of all, I'm going to just say this about Ref Audrey. Audrey, look, I ain't going to lie, girl. For years, ain't nobody been touching your ass. And all of a sudden, these last few months, yeah, I ain't going to lie. Yeah, I don't know if you've been talking to people. Maybe they've been talking to you. But hey, kudos to you. Cheers to you. You out here taking bumps, getting hit in the face by Marina Shafir. I said, damn, that's a real ref right there. If anybody had anything to say about Ref Audrey, well, guess what? That's out the window. She took a punch to Marina Shafir. The toughest damn one, I'll probably say. Again, I've told about Marina Shafir before, but I've watched this woman. I've seen a video of this woman smoking a cig, doing neck lifts, okay, with the weight on her neck, smoking a cig. Diabolical is that? I mean, come on. What's this stuff in your garage, by the way? Yeah, that's what I get off of Marina. That woman's got natural aura. That woman gave me some rock chills. And that even being said, no, we got to talk about this after this. So what I loved even after the match that happened with Kyle O'Reilly. Okay, Darby, Darby don't give Darby coming out. Mark Briscoe comes out. I mean, the whole conglomeration comes out, except for Willow, which I'm a little surprised by it, but it made sense later on in the night. They come out. Okay, they start to beat the hell out of the Death Riders to the point where Mark Briscoe passes the mic to Orange Cassidy, and they make the announcement as to what's about to happen soon. And we're going to be seeing, okay, Darby Allin and the conglomeration going up against the Death Riders. As Orange Cassidy would say, blood and guts. I said, man, OC crazy. I love this, man. But a blood and guts match? I'm all for this. Again, the story is there. And surprisingly, you would think after all this time that's been going on with Darby and the Death Riders, I'm not tired of this. Reason why? It's not forced. The story makes sense. The story's been there. And the story keeps progressing. And it makes sense what Darby's doing. He said it. I'm not done with you. I'm not finished. I'm gonna make y'all hurt the same way y'all hurt me. I said, damn, Darby, give me a pot. Give me a pan. Hell, you give me an air fryer because you're cooking. You're cooking. I ought to call you Chef Darby. But I love what Darby's doing, man. Look, what Darby's got going on with the Death Riders, I love the story with him and Jon Moxley. Granted, my man Darby has not taken a L to Darby. I mean, well, I'm lying. The coffin match, yes. So I can't really say that. But even that match, I said, Darby still doesn't lose in this. Like, it's almost to the point where you see what Darby's doing with the Death Riders. You see what's going on, even with Jon Moxley, by the way. You see what's going on with those two right there. Both don't need a title right now, and they're killing it. This is a story that has transcended past All In. We're seeing stuff that's surpassed All In from the situation with Adam Hangman Page and Moxley, and now it's to the point where the funny thing is, you got Samoa Joe and Adam Page going up against each other. Like they wasn't fighting with each other, going up against Moxley. And then we got Darby and Moxley going up against each other. Like, well, they've been going up against each other. So, again, when y'all try to say this, that, and the third about AEW not having story, not having this, not having that, not having everything else that y'all swear you don't see in the three-letter umbrella, yeah, get my dummy button. Dummy, yeah. Dummy, yeah. They killed it. All right, Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
I'm always a fan of Orange Cassidy and just him in general. His whole act is just it's still great that it still like has the fans even now to this day. But yeah, no, Darby Allin, man, he has really just taken off since his stuff with Sting. When I just was thinking about doing the match when he put the Scorpion Deathlock on Wheeler Yuta, and I'm just oh man, Sting has really just passed down everything
that
to this
torch.
Yeah, it's just everything is right there with Darby, and it's awesome. Little nods like that. It's this is dope because you could just tell how much of an impact Sting has had on him. And then again, when you start putting Darby Allin and Jon Moxley together, it's just it's a great pairing because of the type of wrestlers these gentlemen are. We talk about all the time, they love putting their body through the ringer. And that is their art. That is the art of wrestling to them. And so they're gonna deliver an A1 banger of a match. And now you've kind of brought in the conglomeration along into this as well. So it's gonna be tight. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. And I'm sure it's gonna be magic, especially since Jon Moxley has been on a losing streak as of late, where he's lost to Adam Hangman Page, he's lost to Darby Allin, Well, he just had a count out just now, tonight. And so I don't know, I don't know what it's going to take for him to get himself together, but Darby Allin is probably the worst opponent for him to pick to do this because of the fact that Darby Allin he's willing to go through hell, you just can't get this man to like quit or tap out or whatever. I mean, we saw, the man was being held under a tank of water and he couldn't win the match. Like he was literally trying to drown Darby Allin and couldn't win the match. This is insane. But this is still, it's at the same time, it's fun because that these two are this is like a match made in heaven for these guys, and you put them together and let them go, and you're gonna get magic. So yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, man. I love what they're doing, man. I feel like maybe the end all be all last match for them. It's like I don't even know if it'd be at Full Gear. I could say hell, they might take this all the way to All In. Do I think they might? Maybe not, but maybe Dynasty. Maybe Dynasty. I mean, again, I don't think any of their storylines that they've been doing, I mean, AEW as a whole, I don't think it's been overly extended, overly stretched, paused. I don't think there's been like no storylines have been too short. Everything has worked out and made sense. And again, we've been saying this for weeks, days, months. We've been saying this, man. Look, AEW, they are in their own groove. These guys are literally hitting it on the mark. I've been saying this. I will continue to keep saying this because when it comes to great wrestling and good wrestling, out of this company, I'm not going to sit here and deny it. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, well, these guys ain't. Nah, man. These guys are killing it every single week. And if y'all want to sit here and literally just deny, go ahead. Go ahead. Because you know what? It's not me that's missing the great wrestling. It's you. It's you. So let's go ahead and go into this next segment because we got to talk about this, man. I told y'all, okay, when it comes to Mercedes, don't say anything about calling her out, especially when you backstage, all right? And the reason why I say that, if y'all remember from back since we was talking about All In, since I was talking about it before, if y'all remember those weeks before All In, what did Mercedes do to Tony Storm? Yeah, whoop that ass out all the way out from the backstage to the front of the stage, okay? This is what Mercedes does. But I love this. She started to attack Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander actually started to get to the point where, she actually got a reversal, tossed her onto the end of the apron. Rolls in, okay, we're thinking, hey, Chris Statlander is about to get this. She about to get this. I mean, she ready. And then all of a sudden, we seen Mercedes Moné's partner, Athena. I said, my God, what am I thinking here? I love this. Athena literally comes, attacks the hell out of Chris Statlander. Mercedes hits her backstabber. Then Ember Moon fouls the hell up with the freaking Eclipse right after. I said, my God, look at this. Come on. So let me just make this clear. You mean to tell me y'all see Mercedes and Athena do that, and you still hating on Mercedes? Nah. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Before I even talk about the rest of that segment, first of all, that finisher alone, I said, I never even knew I needed that. I never even knew I loved to see. I never even knew I wanted to see Athena and Mercedes as a tag team. I was saying shit. They can run it back to the last time they faced each other when they had the Owen Hart Cup. When they was the first round, I said they should have been the final round. But even from that match, I said I want to see them go up against each other. But I never would have thought them together, godly, anointed, damn near should I say cinema, okay, when it comes to these two women. Now, that being said, as Mercedes and Athena, had Chris Statlander in the lock, I said, well, damn, what you about to do? Who comes out? Willow, okay, my girl Harley Cameron come out to try to save Chris Statlander. Mercedes and Athena run off. You know how that goes. And I thought to myself, well, damn, this is all right. Now, funny thing is with Willow, and of course, shout out to Willow. Of course, another Long Islander. Got to give you a shout out. What I loved about it, Harley Cameron. Harley, bring the pain. No, that's my girl. But Harley Cameron is the first one to run to Chris Statlander. Makes sense. Willow don't even acknowledge Chris Statlander, by the way. Okay, focused on Mercedes and Athena. Talking about you were the first opponents. This is what the first round is. And I'm not gonna lie. I said, you know what, Willow? If you want to be friends, if you want to be back friends with Chris, then just say that. Just say that. I get it. You don't trust her, but just say that. You want to build a friendship back? Go ahead. Do it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Life's too short. I need to get together anyway. But no, man, I love what they did with this. I love the segment. I love, of course, Mercedes. You killed it. Athena, you killed it. I mean, again, I never wanted to see those finishes paired up right after each other until last night. I said, yeah, give me more of this. Give me more of them. And honestly, if it is Mercedes and Athena getting those tag titles, but we'll talk about who could possibly be getting those instead of them. We're going to talk about that in a second. I was like, you know what? If we get Mercedes and Athena as a tag team champs, I'm 100% for this. Mercedes said it before. I was the first women's tag team champion, and another company that said, you damn right. Granted, they fumbled you, but you was damn right. And this could be another situation, except for the fumbling part. But I think, again, if we do see Mercedes Moné in that tag team division with the tag team champion, my God. 13, 4. At this point, give this woman 20. I mean, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced she's trying to beat Ric Flair's multiple title reign. And if y'all don't know, we've said it before, the man has had 21 title reigns, not 16. WWE, they like to erase history. Ric Flair said it himself, confirmed on the 30 for 30. He's got 21 title reigns. I 100% believe at this point, Mercedes Moné is trying to beat that. And if so, hey, I'm all for it. Make history. It ain't February, but I know you can do it. Break Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
That finisher between, Mercedes Moné and Athena, only thing I can say to anybody else that's vying for that women's tag, the women's tag titles is, come on, son. I mean, it's straight up Athena. It is straight up Athena and Mercedes Moné. Like, that right there was just money, and it just screams money. You're gonna make money. Like, everything about that idea there was just great, and it was just executed so well. And you're pairing two of my favorite, female wrestlers, and especially Athena with her finisher, the Eclipse. I mean, we go back about the Eclipse for days, but yeah, I think they got something really good here with these two ladies, and why not? Why not? I mean, she has 12 other titles at this point. Why not make it a 13th title? Like, let her just keep collecting them. I mean, she's that dang good, so just let her have it. Let her do it. I mean, I have nothing but support for Mercedes Moné and what she's achieving and what she's doing out here on her own. And she's delivering in these matches, and it's evident in her body of work, and now it's evident in the amount of titles that she's carrying. And kudos to her. So, but yeah, this right here, them two together, I have to see it. Like, I want them to be the first tag team champions for AEW. I mean, I just think it's fitting. I think it's a great way to get that title, prestige, like, right away, and then to let them run with it for a little bit, because these are two phenomenal female athletes, and we're talking about Mercedes Moné and Athena, and I can't think of a better group of girls or better group of women to have these titles at the start, and at least to get the ball rolling in a women's tag team division for AEW than these ladies here. So yeah, full 100% support for Mercedes Moné and Athena, and I just cannot wait to see the finisher again. Them, do this finisher again to win the women's titles. I think it is going to be dope. I was a little heartbroken though, because a person that I wanted to see in that match is not going to be in that match based off what we were about to discuss. But I still got my other two ladies, so we're winning.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think it's crazy, man. I agree. I think you put those titles on Mercedes and Athena, you got a lot of prestige going with that. And then again, Athena being the forever champion, and then of course Mercedes being the ultimate champion. So yeah, man, I think again having them as the tag team champs can definitely do a whole lot. And honestly, now and we've been saying this for probably like the last month, 2 months now about the women's division really's been cooking up. Like I think in my opinion, shoot, and I've said it before, I think the AEW women's division, I think they can compete with WWE right now. I really do. I think people say a lot about the women's division in NXT and WWE. All right, cool. But I think within these 5 to 6 years that they've been developing this women's division, they've got something extremely solid. To the point where you got somebody like, again, a Mercedes Moné and Athena. You got the Sisters of Sin. Okay, come on. We talking about a Willow Nightingale and a Harley Cameron. Okay, like Tom, like come on, Tay Mello and Anna Jay. Okay, this Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, tag teams. Some of these, ain't just been put together. Nah, these women been grinding, and you can tell they've been grinding. You can tell the work that's been put in. Shoot, the last few weeks, the last few months, they've been having multiple women's matches, and all those women matches have been bangers. Okay, look, women over AEW, y'all killing it. I don't give a damn what nobody else is saying. Y'all are killing it. You hear me? Love everything y'all are doing. Keep doing that. But let's go ahead and talk about this next segment, because I ain't gonna lie, this one was insane. This tag team match here, man, look, I ain't gonna lie, I just talked about the Sisters of Sin. I love this. Okay, this was a great match, spot fest. I mean, I loved it all. What was crazy, though, okay, we had the Sisters of Sin super kicking, okay, Queen Amanada and Jamie Hayter at the same time. And what I thought was crazy, after Jamie Hayter is outside the ring, freaking Tekla pops up. You know what's crazy? Brian Dance and the rest of them, they didn't even know that was Tekla at first. They thought that was Joey Hart. And then, of course, what's my man with the I can't think of his name, but his reactions make me laugh so much. But my man with the luchador mask and the way he talks, he's like, wait, that's Tekla. I mean, I said, oh my gosh, man, this was good. But I love what they did. Tekla getting the sneak attack on Jamie Hayter to the point where the Sisters of Sin actually capitalized off of that and get the dub. And now they advance to the next round in the tag team tournament. Now, that being said, okay, Queen Aminata, Jamie Hayter, going up against the Sisters of Sin, the first thing I even said to myself was, who the hell is going to win this match? Okay, that was the first thing I had said. Because, when we look at just everything as a whole, what's going on with these women right now, right? Especially with Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata. These two women here face each other, face with each other. And I thought to myself, damn, the moveset with them was dope. And of course, I know Heartbreak Prince, I know you're going to talk about it in a second, because I know how you feel about Queen Aminata, so I get it. But yeah, I love what they did with this, and I'm okay. I'm okay with Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter not winning this. Only reason why I say that is because, a pairing of two didn't get over an actual tag team that's been an actual tag team for a good long amount of time. Now, if we was talking about somebody else or somewhere else, it'd have been the exact opposite. But I love the fact that we are sticking to the actual tag teams, advancing and going far. Now, of course, we're going to have a couple of random pairings, but those random pairings Our random players are like, oh, damn, y'all got something. And I love what they did with this. But I got to get your thoughts. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think about this whole situation in the women's division, man?
I was heartbroken because you know how I feel about Queen Aminata, and I would like to have seen her go, her and Jamie Hayter go further in this to the point of being in the championship match against an Athena and a Mercedes Moné. It did not work out that way. Obviously, they put on such a great match. You know how I feel about Queen Aminata. I've been talking about her for a while and wanting to see her, career progress and continue to keep the win at her sails, because I think she's a great in-ring performer for the women's division, especially up and coming for the women's division. But that wasn't in the plans, and the Sisters of Sin, they did their thing, and it is what it is. But I'm still excited for what we have coming from this division, seeing these pairing of women together in this tag team tournament, championship tournament, and it's been good. They've been putting on some real bangers, and I just find it hard at this point in time seeing anybody that's going to be capable of really taking down Mercedes Moné and Athena. And I mean, I think that's going to be a tall task there, because I mean, those ladies, right, are already hitting on all cylinders. But Sisters of Sin, they had the opportunity. They could do it. It can be possible. But I really wanted to see Queen Aminata going further. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. And speaking of tall tasks, we got to talk about this one tall tree of a woman herself, Megan Bayne. Nope. First of all, okay, Megan Bayne, man, look, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford backstage with Tony Schiavone. Mind you, remember how Tony Schiavone looks right now. Let that burn in your brain. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. Phantom of the Opera. So I sat here and I said, damn, anytime you see an arm sling, anytime, I've said this before, if you see anybody, first of all, with an arm sling, a freaking boot, unless it's Jacob Fatu, because that man is the only one to wear a magic boot and kick ass for 3 weeks straight. But if we're talking about anything with an arm sling, a neck brace, damn near, even if you go out to the ring, okay, and the general manager is out there with you, you know for damn sure what is about to happen. And this was one of those moments. Penelope Ford announcing and letting people know that she is injured out and she's going to be out indefinitely. Okay, which means for Megan Bayne, we say, well, what's going to be next? And she says, is there a worthy person that can take the place? And I said, Marina? You talking about her? You talking about the one that's smoking cigs doing the neck lifts? Okay, I'm all for it. Marina said, what about me? I heard you. I'm here. Here go John. John gonna come up talking about some. Woo, talk about a pair. Scary. And then Marina and Megan fist bumped. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Heartbreak Prince. You said who could be the one? These might be the ones right here.
Yeah. And Marina, she's definitely earned the right to stand next to a god. For sure.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I was in a panel today. Hey, shout out to my man Chris Hills for Life. We was on the cookout today talking about it today. Who would be the actual tag team to beat Mercedes or really who would be the tag team to beat Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir? The first people I said, well, if anybody it's gotta be Mercedes and Athena. But the question that kind of went around the panel was, who would be the one to lose if they are the two final? Who would it be? I don't know. Low key, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir winning those titles. Now, what makes it interesting, We know Megan Bain and Penelope Ford was really rocking with FTR and Big Stoke. So this makes me wonder and question. Now that you're tag teaming with Marina Shafir, does that mean your alliance now goes to the Death Riders? Does this also mean we are adding another woman to the faction? And that means that not just any woman, damn near a god. Megan Bain, I like this. I like this a lot. They got a lot of potential with this. And I can't wait to see what they do. Honestly, again, I smile across my face the whole show. But let's go ahead and talk about, this was truly a banger. I couldn't look at nothing else. I didn't look at my phone. Let me tell you something about Dynamite. But before we even get to this match, we get to the point now. When I specifically watch Dynamite, I don't give a damn about what's on my phone. Now, unless my wife is calling me or text, that's the only reason, babe. I love you. I love you, babe. But besides that, and my mom, love you, Mother Night. But besides those two, I don't give a damn about what's going on. I don't give a damn. You know why? Because this is a show that I'm gonna give my all. I'm gonna pay attention to fully. Why? Because the product is giving back to me for watching. And what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is they're giving me a reason to sit down, lock in, lean in, and watch greatness. I'm doing my job by turning on the TV and giving them an extra view, and they're doing their job by giving me a great product to watch and to come back next week and to give them another view. That's what they're doing. And that's what they did last night, the whole night. And then even to end the night, now let's go ahead and talk about this Fatal Four-way because they went crazy. Okay, Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, the man that hurt people, and that man, Ricochet, which I thought was a great, great match. First of all, when everybody came out, I got to talk about the entrances. Bobby Lashley, we know how it is. That man constantly hurts people. Okay, we break rules, we break necks, we break arms, we cash checks. I say, man, come on, y'all going crazy. But I love that. Bobby come out, first person start running, Ricochet. I said, come on, bro. Classic, great heel stuff. By the way, somebody else kept saying this. I'm sick of this. This Ricochet hate, I'm not taking this BS. Okay, first of all, the reason why I'm saying this, few people I don't play about when you talk about. First one. But damn sure, we ain't never gonna say nothing about Adam Cole, baby. You'll never say nothing about that man, okay? But the next person you don't talk about is my man Ricochet. The reason why I say that, I watched both of these men in the ring. First time when I went to an NXT pay-per-view, NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Yeah, some of y'all know, Some people was there. Look, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this night plenty of times. I've seen Ricochet debut NXT. When he debuted that night on the inaugural NXT ladder match, that man went crazy. They was telling the ladder, this man looked back and said, I got it. Moonsault. You can't tell me this man ain't great. Y'all trying to say, Ricochet hasn't really been, he's only known for Samantha Irvin. Ricochet was Ricochet before Samantha Irvin was even talked about. Okay. Next thing also I'm going to say, Ricochet has been on an incredible run since he has signed with AEW. You see what he's doing. You couldn't say you were seeing this happen with him on the other brand. You wasn't seeing that there. Hell no. But you see what he's doing, the character work. Man went heel. I never thought to myself Ricochet could go heel. But look what he's doing. It never crossed my mind because Ricochet was never a heel. He's always been a face. But for him to go heel, and then the story with him and the Hurt Syndicate, and then now you're giving Ricochet a faction, the Demand. And the crazy thing, I've been watching my man Bishop Khan, Ashe Wrestling. Shout out to Ashe, man. Y'all been killing it. But yeah. And of course we know about what's my other man? Tua. Tua going crazy. Oh, big man, come on. You got the two big light-skinned brothers with dreads. You the one bald brother right there in the middle. Come on. He's doing it. What the hell can you say about Ricochet right now? They say he's not killing it. Let this man get a trios title. Let him get a title and watch how much it's going to get even better for him. Telling you, man, I ain't going to keep taking this. I ain't going to keep hearing this BS, man. Y'all going to stop doing this because if somebody's not under the certain umbrella, y'all want to sit here and crucify, not even crucify, but y'all sit there and try to bury some of these wrestlers. Like they didn't give you moments. Like they didn't give you classics. Like they didn't sit there and have you on the edge of your damn seat. Like, that was crazy. You know, well, you couldn't do none of this stuff. Hell, you couldn't even do this on the couch. But this man out here doing this, entertaining y'all. And y'all want to sit here and say, I'm not hearing that. Don't keep doing that to my man Ricochet. And like I said before, if I ever hear any slander of Adam Cole, baby, I promise you, you will be getting a last shot from this man right here. Well, let's really talk about this Fatal Four-way, man. I got to talk about it. Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, okay. First of all, they're going crazy. Okay, spots are going insane, even to the point where there was a part I thought it was hilarious where you know how Samoa Joe is. Ricochet's on the top rope, tries to hit Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe said nope, kept on walking. Man, I swear I laugh so hard every time he does it. I mean, I love how Samoa Joe's looking in this match, man. He's looking strong. Camera was on him a good amount of times. I said this might go to Joe again, but let's see what happens. I want to see what happens. If Ricochet won it, and I wanted to see maybe what if Bobby wins it. But that wasn't the case, and I love how they did this, man. Look, Bobby takes Samoa Joe, spine buster. Now, Bobby Lashley gets thrown, gets knocked out the ring, and then here comes Ricochet with a damn steel chair. Hits Bobby. Now he's looking at Bobby, looking scared. Okay, Bobby's looking back like, bro, I know you ain't just do that. I know you ain't just do that, bro. I know you didn't. Then starts to follow Ricochet. Starts to whoop his ass, man. And Samoa Joe capitalized on it and I'm surprised, honestly, for Hook to tap. I would have thought this was one of those things, maybe Hook would have been the one to just pass out. But Hook tapped. Bobby didn't get there in time, and Ricochet just stayed on the ramp till it was over. I said, well, I get it. I get it, bro. You can't really go to the ring because Bobby there. And even if you get to the ring, you can't because Bobby's there. But what I love, so after Samoa Joe wins, all right, they said, well, come on out, bring out the people for the celebration. I said, what the hell's with all these farm animals? We got a cow. Was it the Michelin Man was randomly there? I mean, just random people, okay? But what Samoa Joe says, he says, I just want to make sure I'm safe. And I don't feel safe. Powerhouse House, first dude, bro. I mean, literally going ham. I mean, just beating the hell out of, I don't even know, the duck, man. He's beat the hell out of this random duck. I said, Jesus Christ, Will, come on, stop. I mean, they're just beating the hell out of all of them. Clear house. Tony Schiavone, again, walks away. Okay, remember what I said. But then they get the random last Michelin Man. And I guess, even to the point I said, ain't no way this is Adam Page in a freaking Michelin suit. Okay? Was it? When I asked him, it was just a random. Literally, a random. So, they just discarded him and pushed him to the side. And then Tony Schiavone says, well, why don't we finish this off with a toast? By the way, Michelob Ultra. I said, man, the Superior Light beer? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy for this. But I loved it. Okay, Tony Schiavone raising it up, saying, let's do a beer, let's do a toast. Then he throws in the sponsors. Then he says also, he also said about Adam Hangman Page, talking about that cowboy-ish. And then everybody started to look and say, well, wait a minute, what's going on? Then Tony says, long live the king. But it wasn't Tony. Oh, hell no. It wasn't Tony at all. Because Tony was literally, he kicked everybody. Will, I said, Jesus Christ. Then to the point, turned around, Samoa Joe turned around, and what happened? Tony Schiavone, yeah, I'm still sticking with this. Tony Schiavone hit Samoa Joe in the head with a Michelob Ultra beer bottle. Okay. Then it's revealed that it's that man, that Hangman, Adam Hangman Page, man. I love this every single second of it. To the point the crowd was hyped, crowd went crazy. Adam Page hit Samoa Joe with a buckshot lariat, and this is the finish right here. Ah, you see that? You see how that show went? You see how that classic of a product of a show went? That's pro wrestling right there. That is something that I said, yeah, y'all killed this. I said, another great episode as always. To the point, even if I got to work on Saturdays or if I miss Collision, I feel bad. I feel bad for missing Collision on this. If I miss it or if I miss a Dynamite, I'll be like, damn, I'm missing greatness. Okay, I can't sit here on this show every week, whether it's the nighttime or if we're on the regular school, if we're on there, exclusive tapes, Heartbreak Hotel, it don't matter what show I'm on. If we ever talking about AEW, you can never hear me say nothing bad about that company from these last few years. I'm sorry. You're not. Granted, I love AEW. Now, was there a point where I might have stopped a little bit? Yeah. I fell off a little bit. I fell off wrestling for a little minute. Okay. After COVID time, yeah, it was a little slow. All right. But when I picked back up into AEW, I said, oh, no, they turned up. They turned all the way back up. Now, granted, last time I seen an AEW show before I picked it back up was like in 2023. Now, if y'all want to know why, that's when CM Punk was still there. And he was still the champ. And I seen him live. And I said, yeah, this ain't it. Something about this just ain't it. I don't know. I was upset. Mind you, now the show I went to, it was a free show. Okay. But I was upset because I said, man, this isn't the same AEW that I know. Granted, the matches were still great. But I said, man, the aura up in here ain't feeling like I know it usually should be. Flash forward to last year. I picked back up maybe maybe March or April of 2020 of last year. What was I seeing? Classics. We seen MJF and Will Ospreay in a match that was 59 minutes and 57 damn seconds. Damn near a 60-minute match. That was a classic. Seeing Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson going toe-to-toe in Dynasty. My wife said, no, Will Ospreay might be one of the greatest of all time. I said, yeah, you damn right, babe. You right. That's Will Ospreay. Look, man, I mean, I talk about this brand all the time. I talk about this product all the time. I truly love what AEW is doing. Okay, whether it's the storylines, how they're utilizing the wrestlers, how the representation is there for all the wrestlers. Okay, I love what they're doing. It's not no, cookie cutter. This is what we got to make for you. Nah, you're letting the fans, really show you who they love, and you're pushing them more. And I love what they're doing. Love what they're doing. You're not manufacturing an aura. You're not manufacturing a moment. I mean, granted, we know wrestling is one of those things to where, we know it's predetermined. We know it's written down. We know how that goes. But at the same time, there's certain moments in wrestling that happen organically. Okay, and I feel like when it comes to AEW, that's what we get. Organic, real moments. Moments that makes us go, damn, I felt that. Damn near to the point where you might just start to get a little bit of a chill. A chill. Damn rock chills. Come on, man. Them rock chills. Been saying that. This show, and I'm not just even talking about last night, this product alone has rock chills, gives me rock chills. I love it. I love the story, and I know I kind of digress off of what we just from Adam, but I gotta talk about this as a whole. Everything from the Fatal Four-way match, I loved it. The crowd loved it. I mean, I've been seeing people even on social media, talking about how crazy that match was, how much fun it was to watch it, and then to see the ending of how we got there. I said, yeah, y'all doing the damn thing. And again, I love it. Adam Hangman Page, you're killing it as AEW champion. And man, keep doing it. Because when it comes to you, it's always about that cowboy-ish. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
That Fatal Four-way match to end AEW Dynamite was phenomenal. I mean, I thought it just hit on all the right notes. To see Bobby Lashley and Samoa Joe going toe-to-toe in the ring, it did give you, those chills, obviously. Especially when Bobby Lashley picked Samoa Joe up with one hand and gave him a spine buster down onto the neck. I mean, that thing had to vibrate the entire arena. And then, the whole story I love with Ricochet coming back and hitting Lashley in the back with the chair. And then Lashley just like turning around like, oh, no, you didn't, you little, and chasing her, and Ricochet's falling and crawling away. And Samoa Joe just being the ring professional, the ring general that he is, just takes advantage of Hook, who's standing there just lost, looking at what's going on between Bobby Lashley and Ricochet, gets him in the coquina clutch, gets him down on the ground, and it's just nighty-night. And what just capped it off and made it even, he just took it to the next level and just made it fantastic, was the whole thing that happened after that with Tony Schiavone. as my girl, who I haven't seen her. Hey, shout out to Timeless Tony Storm. But as she would say, Tony Schiavone, he is talking on a mic, and I seen this person walk down. I'm like, hearing his voice, but I'm like, where is he? I hear him talking, but I don't see him.
Yes.
And then finally he comes on like on scene, and it's like the small details like this that you just really enjoy. And Adam Hangman Page, who we later learn is Adam Hangman Page wearing the Phantom of the Opera mask, is talking on the mic as if he's really Tony Schiavone, and like his mouth is moving. It's perfectly in sync with what's being
lip
said
sync and everything. It was crazy.
And so you're thinking it's like, oh, this is Tony's like, yeah, let's have a drink to this. And I was like, this is odd. I mean, he won the championship.
Yeah, I was like, Tony don't even be drinking like that. Yeah,
I like Tony just randomly offering to have a drink. What? I mean, we celebrating this. All right, so they get the beers, and I'm like, oh, so they're literally getting ready to celebrate this. This is really a big deal. Okay, so and then all of a sudden, when he started to talk about Adam Hangman Page, you can start to sense the feel, the vibe of like something is not right here. Tony Schiavone saying Tony Schiavone saying these types of things. It's weird. And when he said, "Long live the king," that's when I knew. I said, "Oh my gosh!" And then he starts attacking, the ops, and you could see it on Samoa Joe's face, like, hold on, long live the, and he turns and it's like, oh yeah, Michelob Light bottle right to the face, just knocks him off his feet. He takes the mask off. Crowd's going crazy. He gets outside of the rope. The crowd know what's about to happen. Samoa Joe stumbling around the ring, gets up just in time for the buckshot lariat, and it's just phenomenal work. And another reason as to why I've been saying I just believe with my soul that Adam Hangman Page is champion of the year. Like it's just, he's just great, man. It's just, he's been on just a phenomenal run this year. And it's stuff like this. That is just, it's awesome, especially knowing that they beat up all of those gentlemen in the costume because they were saying, oh, we got to protect ourselves. We're not falling for this again, Adam Hangman Page. You dressed up as, in a costume and so you can attack. And so they beat the brakes off of 4 innocent people and only to have Tony Schiavone be the one that gets them in the end. It's crazy work. Absolutely love it. Adam Hangman Page is literally just that dude. Like when he took that mask off, this crazy look, the crowd, they went nuts.
They went insane.
Yeah, it's just dope, man. That was just a dope way to end the show. And yeah, more power to him. That Fatal Four-way was just good. The stories, even within the matches, like I said, they didn't forget about the Ricochet Bobby Lashley thing, but they made time for that Samoa Joe Bobby Lashley thing as well. And it felt right. And then you still had the thing with Samoa Joe and Hook, and for Hook to be the one to lose after he had his segment earlier talking about how he was going to make sure that out of everybody in that match, Samoa Joe was the one, was the one that would lose or would not win it, I should say. And for it to end, that story to end with the person that made that promise tapping out to the coquina clutch to Samoa Joe. I mean,
Crazy.
Just phenomenal work. Phenomenal work. And I just, like I said, love it. Love it.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. I just think they've got it, man. I mean, story wise, I feel like they connect all the dots in just little ways, little details. Again, I even seen a video. I seen a video last night. It was a fan that was there at the Dynamite show, and they was recording Adam Hangman Page, and it was like, yeah, you could see him lip syncing, but it was like nobody even knew. But I mean, he was lip syncing it word for word, accurately, on time. And I said, man, if this ain't great, great acting, just great storytelling, hey, I don't know, man. You tell me different, because at this point, I mean that's A1 acting, bro. I mean, come on. Majority of us really thought that was still Tony Schiavone until we were like, wait a minute, that don't sound like him. But I mean, that was dope. He had the same exact suit, the shoes, I mean, the hair. I said, yeah, you got it, bro. This was good. But then I'm thinking about, like, the story. Like, I think even like just the hidden gem of the Phantom of the Opera, like, mask, like, why choose that one? There's so many layers. I felt like they was kind of telling with that, but I loved it, man. I loved it. Tony, Chef Tony, you're cooked up as always, and you're always giving us a great show. I mean, at this point, I might have to start doing reviews of Collision, bro. Like, I honestly feel bad I don't get a chance. We don't review Collision. But I mean, bro, you give us cinema on Dynamite, so I think this is enough for the people to hear and to know and be ready. But again, I love what they did with this. I was just ecstatic, man. Just ecstatic. I mean, couldn't keep my eyes off the TV, couldn't get distracted off of anything else. I mean, this again is my show. I love to enjoy to watch. And again, I mean, Chef Tony, you're killing it, man. You're killing it. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. And I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all know this. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. Hey, y'all, look, we need y'all. We only got a few more subscribers till we hit that 200. So go ahead and like it up. Go ahead and comment. Keep subscribing. And also, same thing for TikTok as well. We're almost at 500 followers. So make sure y'all keep following us up. Make sure y'all keep liking it up. I always make sure I get into those panels with my man Chris from the Heels for Life, doing those cookouts. Probably gonna start doing some live streams ourselves soon on TikTok as well. So y'all y'all look out for that. But again, y'all keep doing it, because we gonna keep giving you that content the exclusive way. Okay, y'all already know what it is. But we talked about some of the great things that happened. Wheeler Yuta, first of all, aura went up, then goes right back down. We talked about the greatness with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. We talked about the potential of the greatness when it comes to Mercedes Moné and Athena and those damn minions. And of course, we had to talk about the Young Bucks, that jobber journey, boy. Something else. And with the Don Callis family, that interesting dynamic. And we had to talk about the man that's probably on the greatest championship run of this year. That man, Hangman Adam Page, man. Look, they killed it. They killed it. But I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we had the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the exclusive Knights, and we always ensure that we are the best there is, the best there
Best
was,
there was,
and the
and the
best
best
there
there
will
will
be. And to ensure that your night will never
Will never
be
be
the
the
same.
same.
Y'all be good.
Peace.